Is a smartphone with a robotic camera the future or just an expensive gimmick? Today we're examining the Honor Robot Phone, unveiled at Mobile World Congress 2026, where embodied AI meets robotics. The standout feature? A motorized gimbal camera. A sliding panel reveals a 200-megapixel camera mounted on a 3-axis robotic arm that deploys from the phone's back. Honor says they developed one of the world's smallest micromotors, about 70% smaller than their prototypes, allowing them to fit an ultra-compact 4 degrees of freedom gimbal inside a smartphone. In other words, this is basically a DJI Osmo Pocket competitor built directly into your phone. Now let's talk about imaging. Everything centers around that 200-megapixel sensor, paired with 3-axis mechanical stabilization and an AI engine that responds to movements in real time. Features include AI object tracking, trained on millions of scenes, and AI SpinShot, which supports 90 and 180-degree rotational movements for more cinematic shots. Honor even partnered with the cinema company ARRI to bring professional color science to the system. And for video calls, the camera can physically track you across the room. But Honor didn't stop at imaging. They also added personality. The camera can nod when it agrees, shake its head when it disagrees, perform backflips, and even dance to music while making childlike grunts. The AI can also give outfit feedback, though interestingly, it won't give negative comments. Now, reactions so far have been mixed. Content creators see potential here, combining the convenience of a smartphone with built-in gimbal stabilization. Demonstrations showed noticeably smoother video compared to regular phones. But there are also concerns. Privacy is a big one. An AI-controlled camera that autonomously tracks people raises obvious questions. There's also the design compromise. The phone is significantly thicker than typical flagships, which affects pocketability. And then there's durability. The device relies on mechanical moving parts, yet Honor hasn't allowed journalists to physically handle the phone during demonstrations. Full specifications are still undisclosed aside from the 200-megapixel camera. Preliminary listings suggest 12 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Early pricing points to around $2,233 US. That firmly places it in flagship territory. The launch is expected in the second half of 2026 in China, while global availability remains uncertain. So how does it compare to existing options? Against the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, this phone has the advantage of sharing the same processor as your smartphone, allowing instant editing and processing. Meanwhile, phones like the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra already offer intelligent subject tracking, though without robotic mechanical arms. And of course, many AI camera apps already provide similar tracking features without requiring specialized hardware. So, what's the verdict? The robot phone is undeniably genuine innovation. It successfully miniaturizes professional stabilization technology into a smartphone form factor. For content creators, it could potentially replace standalone gimbals, but that's still a fairly niche market. For the average user, this feels like solving problems most people aren't actually having. Between the unconfirmed flagship pricing, limited availability, extra thickness, and privacy concerns, the device seems aimed mostly at early adopters willing to pay a premium for experimental technology. For now, it's probably best to wait for full reviews, complete specifications, and real-world durability testing before deciding whether this robotic smartphone is the future or just a very expensive experiment.